Hi, I'm Tim Warner. Welcome to this OnCertification screencast entitled Where to Go to Learn More About ITIL version 3. Our agenda for this screencast is as follows. Number 1, we'll define some terms related to ITIL. Number 2, we'll embark on an online tour of some ITIL resources that I think you'd be interested in and find very useful. And number 3, I'll provide you with my contact information such that if you have any questions, you can reach me directly with those questions. What is ITIL anyway? Well, ITIL stands for Information Technology Infrastructure Library, and what it is a framework or set of best practices for IT service management. Therefore, the reason why many companies go, as I say, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over ITIL is that it can save companies money by improving their efficiency within their IT departments. Therefore, ITIL is important to IT managers and IT project managers because, as I said, it gives them a framework for conducting their business. Think of a help desk administrator, or think of a CIO for a company, the kinds of concerns that deal with delivery of IT services within an enterprise. ITIL is almost infinitely malleable. That is to say, many companies wind up taking ITIL practices and custom shaping them to their own corporate standard or their own corporate needs. Microsoft has adapted the ITIL best practices into a framework of its own that they call MOF. That stands for Microsoft Operations Framework. Now, ITIL is a program, it works. There's plenty of enterprise software developed that corresponds to ITIL best practices. What we're concerned with in the OnCertification channel is where can we learn more about the ITIL certification program? It's a lucrative skill set for sure. Maybe you're under the gun to get ITIL implemented and you want to know where to begin. Well, that's where this screencast is really going to help you. Let's jump on the web. Our first stop on this trolley ride through ITIL online resources is one of my very favorite websites, Wikipedia. If you do a Wikipedia search for ITIL, you'll come to this page where it gives you a nice rundown of what ITIL is, how the certification program works, talks about the development, and it deals with ITIL version 2 and ITIL version 3. As of this recording in January 2009, I would strongly recommend that if you're new to ITIL, you focus on version 3, that's the latest version. Now, ITIL comes from the United Kingdom, or Great Britain, in particular, the Office of Government Commerce, or OCG. That's where ITIL comes from. But remember what I said in the PowerPoint section of this screencast, that although the OGC, publishes the ITIL standard in an orthodox fashion, most companies wind up adapting ITIL and bending it to fit their own business processes. So Wikipedia is a good site. Another place you need to be aware of is the official ITIL website. Believe it or not, it's not exactly trivial finding out where the ITIL site is because it's just such a distributed program. The URL is www.itil-officialsite.com. And there's a lot here. Is it the most readable? No, in my opinion. Is it the easiest to understand? No, but at least it's the data straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak. And in particular, at the ITIL page, if you come to the left navigation bar, you've got a couple links that are important. There's qualifications and training organizations. If you click the qualifications link, this is really where you can spend most of your time learning how to become ITIL v3 certified. There's plenty of PDFs that you can download. You can learn about the track and go from there. Now, not to toot my own horn, but if you visit informit.com and run a search for ITIL, I've posted a series of blog entries in the certification reference guide on ITIL certification. In particular, I've published an essay called ITIL Certification Link Dump that aggregates many of these sites that I'm showing you today, actually. IT Skeptic is a particularly interesting site. Let's load that up. And while that's loading, let's scroll down this list further. I've given you links to some popular ITIL discussion forums, some places where you can get both free and for cost practice exams for the ITIL v3. And then we've got some book links here, both within Pearson, my company, and non-Pearson. If you go to www.itskeptic.org/ITIL_version_3, I don't know who this person is who runs this site. I guess I haven't looked into it to that degree. But what this person does is discuss ITIL v3 in pretty good degree of depth, and he's not drunk any Kool-Aid. In other words, it's a fairly opinionated, you can judge that just by the name of the site, an opinionated take on ITIL. And it's kind of nice and refreshing after viewing some of these really orthodox pages that are about as dry as a bucket load of sawdust. Another site I wanted you to be aware of is foxit.net, Foxit.net. Within their site, I guess there's some kind of IT consultancy. However, this is kind of a cool deal. They offer, for fun and for free, an ITIL v3 wall chart that will be sent to you in PDF format. And it's excellent way to look at the framework from a bird's eye perspective. And you can't beat the price, it's free. Yet another site you might want to consider is itlibrary.org. This is the ITIL Open Guide. There's quite a bit of information here, links to forums and online communities, etc. As far as pure practice exams go, although you can find plenty of mom-and-pop private websites where folks are offering not brain dumps, not illegal stuff, but genuine, honest-to-goodness practice questions for your ITIL foundation and intermediate exams, you might want to go for a retail product in order to get the benefit of the research that goes into those. I used to work for Transcender a few years ago, back during their glory days. Now in 2009, they're still around. They're under new management from when I worked there, but I would still recommend them most strongly to you if you're looking for a practice exam software. Therefore, it's transcender.com, and you see that they're offering a practice test for the foundation certificate. The final link I wanted to share with you is the ITIL Community Forum, itilcommunity.com. Depending upon whether you're just a freelancer and you're looking for ITIL certification for yourself, or maybe you're in a worldwide multinational enterprise, you may be looking for other like-minded individuals, other ITIL certified people to talk to, or folks who, like yourself, may just be searching for and preparing for ITIL certification. This is a particularly nice forum. It's fairly well attended. The modules area on the left has a link called Forums where we can go into the discussion board itself. And you see it's divided into discussion, jobs, certification, which has quite a few posts. And I would just encourage you to avail yourself of this site and others like it so you can ask questions, get them answered, and just kind of put your head together, so to speak, with other folks who are practicing ITIL and studying for the certification exams. In conclusion, let me give you my contact information. My name again is Tim Warner. My email address is timothy.warner@pearson.com. OnCertification podcast channel, you see there's two URLs here, one at Inform IT, the other at YouTube. They both host the same content. And finally, my reference guide is at informit.com/cert guide. Thanks very much for taking the time to participate in this screencast. I look forward to hearing from you, and happy studying.